Hey everybody, welcome back. These are some entitled in-laws that can suck an egg. All these stories were shared in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. The day I introduced myself to my mother-in-law of 3 years. My husband and I have been married for 3 years and have known each other since high school. His parents are divorced, and when I was younger, I briefly met his dad and stepmom when we went to prom, but I never met his mom and stepdad because he doesn't live with them. As adults, we got back together and eventually got married. However, he's been no contact with his family for about 6 years now, so they weren't invited to our wedding. Ooh, no contact for 6 years, eh? That says a lot. Instead, he and I had a small wedding with only about 15 people, including the wedding party. He even surprised me by taking my last name and calling my parents mom and dad because they essentially raised him from age 14 on. It was perfect. Fast forward to about a week ago. I got a comment on a year-old video I posted publicly. For context, this video was a photo of me and my husband as teenagers showing our ages, and then a recent photo showing our current ages with cutesy music and some hearts. It was just a little thing I threw together and shared.
No, I love you so.
The comment read, my son, insert full name, was born in 1996. Basic math says he's 28. Not 27. Are you just stupid or you don't know how old your husband is? What a wife. Kind of sounds like she doesn't even know how old her son is. Let's think here for a second. Is it more likely that the woman who hasn't seen her own son in 6 years doesn't know how old her son is? Or is it more likely that the wife that is with her husband all the time, has probably signed forms, looked at passports, seen the birth date, knows how old her husband is?
Yeah, exactly. I'm his mother.
Obviously, it was apparent that this was my mother-in-law, who I obviously have never even met. I was so pissed off and immediately responded with, hi, insert name. Nice to finally meet you. Since this is our first intro, let's get a few things clear. My husband's name is first plus last name. He took ours at the wedding you weren't invited to. Good job on getting his birthday right, though. Nice to know that even though you haven't gotten him a birthday card, message, or gift in the last 18 years, you do in fact remember when it is. Don't worry though, his family has been spoiling him. Hearts! Oh, and this video was posted in 2023, so basic math would say that if this is a year old, he was a year younger. For more recent photos of your former son, feel free to follow. Subscribe! Was I too petty or just the right amount?
For me, it's a perfect amount.
Yeah, I mean, she came in hot. It's interesting that she somehow has opinions about who her son married when she literally has not been involved in his life for this long. And also, she wrote a public comment. Now, I got a thing about people who write public comments with misinformation. You have no idea how much misinformation is spread in comment sections. A person's entire reputation can be ruined by a comment section of just people spouting immature, incorrect, ignorant. If someone writes a comment, I won't respond in a video, but if it's got blatant information that is incredibly uneducated, let's go with that, I'm gonna respond and make you feel stupid. I don't like to respond to comments. I really don't. If there's people going around spreading misinformation and saying all this like nasty stuff that isn't even true, sometimes I'll venture down there.
You done messed up, AA Ron!
Because someone could read that and be like,
oh my God, she's so horrible. She doesn't even know her own husband's age.
okay, OP responds, glad to see I'm not crazy because my friend said I took it way too far and should have just blocked her. I mean, yeah, you could have done that.
But where's the fun in that?
You could have. You could also still do that. But I wanted to be a bit firmer because I don't want to be dealing with this long term. If my husband has no relationship with her, then all bets are off. I will say, sometimes engaging in the negativity sometimes really genuinely isn't worth it. Then you're gonna have like a public fight in the comments section that everybody's gonna read. It's kind of like if someone was fighting at a restaurant with somebody else. Everyone is gonna see that. Furthermore, she's already formed an opinion about you, so doesn't really matter what you say. If anything, what you wrote will make her very mad. I do block. I have absolutely no problem blocking. I have literally no problem with it. But on the off chance that maybe I got time today, I'll respond. We do have an update. It's a lovely update. So many of you have asked for an update if she did reply, and she actually did for about an hour and then deleted her comment after my mom replied. This would be my first time posting on Reddit, let alone here, so I didn't know if her 1 hour reply was relevant or if anyone would even read this post. I mean, I'm reading it.
I didn't know you could read.
I'm very curious. So my mother-in-law did in fact reply quickly with, "Why don't you ask your husband why he did not get any birthdays? He made my life miserable with how bad of a kid he was." Then why are you up here in his wife's comment section claiming to know him better than her? Before I could even respond, my mother did, because I told her what happened. Shortly after, the comment from my mother-in-law was deleted. My mom said, "Since we are doing introductions, my name is, and I am the biological mother of me, and chosen mother of my husband." Ooh, that one's got a sting, eh? The bad kid you are referring to is often the highlight of my day. He is, and always has been, an absolute gem and role model to my younger two children, who now call him their brother. Perhaps, instead of blaming a child for your actions, ask yourself why all 7 of your children have stopped contacting you. Were they all terrible, or were you simply an unfit mother? Basic math and probability would probably point to the latter. I will admit, I've often wondered why my husband's name made the decision to completely write off the person who birthed him, but I have respected his decision always. Now seeing you act like a spoiled child, I applaud him for it. So I will tell you what I tell all my children. If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all.
If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
That's a Bambi quote. Publicly attacking my children online is disgusting, especially when you birthed one of them. Please know, if this behavior continues, my son and daughter will continue to keep you in the time out that you earned. And yes, I say my son, considering you raised him for about 10 years and he's been a part of my family for 14. And I believe that I have officially earned that right and you have lost it. If one day you decide to grow up and make amends with him, as I hope you will, please remember that you are the cause of all this and he has no obligation to forgive you. If you would like to continue this conversation in a more private setting, to not further embarrass yourself, here is my phone number. And yes, she really did put it. After reading this and thanking my mom, wow, your mom really did a number. How are you not embarrassed? So after reading this and thanking my mom, I went back to show my husband and her comment has been deleted. There's something really nice about someone just like up and deleting a comment.
Oh, I was right.
You know, they say something nasty and then you kind of respond with like, "Oh, I'm not really sure if you're saying this to be mean, but I'm gonna correct you." And then they delete it. Oh, it's so satisfying. It's like, yeah, right. Like when I click on like a nasty comment that someone has replied to on TikTok with a video and then you go to the comment and it says comment deleted. Oh.
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever.
Luckily, I did take a screenshot so I could have it for future reference and possibly frame my mother's message. My mom did not get a message, but who knows? I mean, I'd be pretty embarrassed after that. If someone in your family or a friend of yours, they constantly just kind of can't seem to keep relationships. You know, if there's a pattern with this person where they keep having like big falling outs with people, where their family doesn't really talk to them much, you have to wonder, who's really at fault there? Anyways, everyone's gassing up your mother in the comments, and I second that. Your mother is amazing. I always love to see people come to the defense of others. It's easy for someone to just like have a target, like a bully to just find a target. But what really helps in a situation like that is if someone stands up to them, if someone other than the target stands up to them. Am I the a-hole for letting my mother-in-law call me the wrong name for a decade? Oh, rise for the Honorable Judge Charlotte! Presiding! You may be such. My mother-in-law and I do not get along. She, on multiple occasions, has given me a list of women she wished my husband would have married instead of me. To what end? Like, what's the point of that? She told me I needed weight loss surgery when I was pregnant. I was 5 pounds over my BMI, and she has cankles. Well, if the shoe fits, but it doesn't. And when I was pregnant, she told mutual friends she had to stay with me so I didn't, quote, screw up the baby. All fun stories for another time. I don't care to have a relationship with her, so I mostly ignore her, and my husband and I make fun of her later. Not entirely healthy, but it's how we cope. You cope however you need to cope, baby girl. When my hubby and I were dating, we started getting serious, so we did the whole meet the parents thing. I have a very common 80s girl name. Not hard to pronounce and super easy. I think 80s girl name. Ethel? Huh? My husband introduced me to his parents and everything was fine. A little later, mother-in-law calls me by the wrong name. I politely correct her. It's worth noting here that my mother-in-law hates to be corrected or told she's wrong about anything. She will literally scream and start rage crying if you correct her on something and insist she's right. This is exactly what happened. She flies into a rage and screams at me that she knows my name. I'm shocked. Wide eyes, mouth hanging open like a trout, and everyone else is just acting like nothing is happening since apparently this is a common occurrence. I hate that everyone enables her. I hate it! Years go by, and she continues to call me the wrong name. Everyone else calls me by the correct name. When my husband is talking to her and uses my name, she says, "Who's that?" Ugh. To which my husband says, my wife?
My wife.
Who's that? Oh, brother. I can't tell if she actually doesn't know and just forgets and literally does not think you are relevant enough to remember your name, or if she's just absent-minded, maybe losing a few screws up there. This Thanksgiving, the in-laws come for the holiday. My 5-year-old is learning his safety info for school. Address, phone number, parents' names, etc. I'm quizzing my son so he can get a reward for learning the info. Mother-in-law is lurking behind us. We get to, what's mom's name? Mother-in-law jumps in before my son can answer and says the wrong name, like she's beating him at a TV trivia show. So wait, does she still not know your name, or is she trying to teach your son the wrong name? My son looks at me wide-eyed and obviously confused, partly from the shock of his kindergarten assignment turning into a fast-paced game of Jeopardy, and partly because he knows that's not my name. I have to say something at this point, so I ignore mother-in-law completely and tell my son, that's not mom's name. What is it? My son answers with the correct name. Mother-in-law spends the next couple minutes insisting she's right.
No, your name is Mlarlet. No. Like, your name's Mlarlet. I know this for a fact.
My husband and I tell her she's not. Instead of exploding, she unexpectedly sulks. So she plays the victim, and she's sad that you didn't tell her the right name, even though the last time you told her the right name, she exploded at you. Later, we go over to my parents' house. As I'm setting the table, I see mother-in-law cornering my mom in the kitchen, grilling her about my name.
No, I can't be wrong about this.
Apparently, mother-in-law was convinced we were lying to her, so she needed to verify with mom. I'm dying. She insists no one told her my real name. Oh, we told you. I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy Thanksgiving a little more this year, knowing mother-in-law thought we were running a 10-year campaign to embarrass her. My husband and I have had a lot of laughs about this for the past few months, but recently I told the story to a friend who said I was an a-hole for letting her call me the wrong name for a decade, then laughing at her behind her back about it. So my question is, am I the a-hole? You tried to correct her. She chose to call you that name. If anyone is an a-hole in this scenario, it is the person who literally could not be bothered to know your real name for a decade. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you were kind of avoiding conflict.
Who isn't?
In the whole, oh, let's just not tell her, because, like, let's be honest, at the end of the day, she's one of those people that hates being wrong. I also hate being wrong, but I'll allow it. It's okay. I think we all need to be okay with being wrong sometimes. It's okay.
This is a safe space.
It doesn't make us bad people. It doesn't make us stupid. In fact, I would argue that the insisting upon not learning your own daughter-in-law's name makes you a much more horrible person than forgetting a name. Some people are saying drop your friend. I'm also kind of wondering why anybody would defend your mother-in-law. Probably thought you were never gonna last, so she never bothered to know your actual name. And then it just became this long thing. She should be embarrassed. And in fact, she should apologize to you for calling you the wrong name for a decade. If she brings it up and she says she's embarrassed, you could just say, listen, we tried to tell you, but you've been calling me the wrong name for a decade. So are you the a-hole? Absolutely not. Am I the a-hole for calling out my partner's family members for inviting people to my baby shower without asking? Or in the court. My fiance, 32 male, and myself, 27 female, are expecting our first baby together in March 2025. Yay! Oh, that's really soon. That's literally
A month ago.
A month ago?
Well, congratulations. You had your baby. Hope everything went well. We decided to have a baby shower in January of 2025 and have decided to select men in our lives to join in. We aren't doing the typical baby shower games, just a handful, and it's more of a small get together. The males coming are our dads, brothers, and our mutual friends who've supported us in our journey to planning our family, etc. These mutual friends have known my fiance since they were like 6 or 7. So they're basically like brothers. Other than that, no other males are invited. And a lot are my girlfriends from work, who missed out on celebrating our engagement party with us due to mother-in-law insisting we invite nearly all of their extended family, and I am a people pleaser. Ooh. And let me guess, because your mother-in-law wanted to invite all of her family, you couldn't invite some of your friends because you can only include so many people at a wedding. I just want to say, as someone who's planning a wedding, and I know that there are some people who are unhappy that they're not invited, you really got to consider the fact that weddings, I feel like, are a lot more for the family than they are for the friends. Like, friends are invited, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a reason why there's like best men, maid of honor, and stuff like that. When it comes to the wedding, oftentimes the parents are paying for it. Because of that, it's kind of like if they want to invite family friends or, you know, your third cousin, you kind of got to let them do it. The unfortunate thing is weddings kind of have a cap. So mine has a cap of like 150 people. And once you start invited extended family members, everybody has a spouse, people have kids.
That's a lot of people.
That number gets up pretty high very quick. Unfortunately, that kind of means that friends don't get an invite. Some friends. And I can just tell that there's some people that are a little bit disappointed about not getting an invite, but at the same time, it's just kind of, I do feel somewhat that weddings are for like family members, especially when
Dad's paying good money for it.
I made the event on Facebook and didn't realize I needed to unselect the option of guests being allowed to invite people. Oh, uh-oh. Unfortunately, to do it after it's published, I need to delete the entire event and start again. I invited all of the people I wanted to invite and said to my fiance, if I've missed anyone, just let me know. I woke up the next morning and 2 male cousins of my fiance had liked the event and said they were coming, but I didn't invite them.
Oh, hell no!
I then checked the people invited and noticed 15 people have been invited. 15 plus. 10 of which are male cousins, and the other 5 are family friends of my in-laws. Ooh. So, yeah, I would say just to be safe, you really got to be asking people to even bring a +1 to any sort of like family event, life event, anything like that. You certainly do not go and invite 15 plus people to someone else's event without giving the host a heads up. I asked my fiance if he went in and added them and he said no. After asking my mom, she said, "Oh, your event is letting me invite people." Is this just like illiteracy when it comes to technology, or? And then I saw red. Mind you, pregnant lady rage is so real. And I looked at my fiance and said, I am sorry. I love your family.
You sure about that?
However, it is incredibly rude to invite people to someone else's event without checking with either of us first. So it was your mother-in-law, not your mom. Got it. My male cousins aren't even invited. Fiance rang his mom and asked if she knew who had invited them, and she said, I added the family friends, but they are females, so it should be okay. Okay, so everybody invited people. Your auntie then added male cousins. Oh, absolutely not. What the actual My fiance tried telling her it wasn't her event to just add, and she should have checked. Oh wow, so everybody's a little delulu here. I then took the phone and called them for being rude and disrespectful, for not asking, and the reason why we had certain ideas on who we wanted was because the people invited us support us every day, and they've helped me adjust to pregnancy and have been genuinely interested in our growing baby's life. And we also can't afford to feed the extra 15 plus people coming. Mother-in-law and auntie refused to contribute to the food. Oh, absolutely not. No, if you're gonna invite people, like, at least pay up. I said I was deleting the extra people, and mother-in-law and auntie had to message and explain why they were deleted. Now mother-in-law is complaining to sister-in-law, who is on my side, saying I'm being rude and it's just hormones. Am I the a-hole? I think it's very, very clear. There's a lot of people that don't understand this.
How can I make that any more clear to you?
Like, it would be one thing if one person kind of went out of their way, but it kind of seems like more than one person went out of their way to like invite a bunch of people. Always ask. It is a little disrespectful to just assume that the host of an event is gonna compensate and pay for people that you invited. In general, I think it's better to just send out like an evite. That way it's private. But at the same time, I feel like it goes without saying, not invite people that aren't invited to like someone else's major life event. The only way out of this is to send out a notice that the shower is canceled. Wait a week and send out individual invitations. That's a good way of, like just send out like a physical invitation to the people you want there. But I mean, I think at the same time though, I feel like if these people wanted to invite other people, they would have anyway. When people demand to know why you canceled, tell them the truth that too many people took it upon themselves to invite scores of people you didn't even know. No other reasons need to be stated. In the future, do not use social media to invite people to your events. I agree with this because, a public event, like everybody's gonna be able to see it, and it's just better just to like, just do an evite, or a physical invitation. But like, I'm cheap, so I do evite. Understand that whatever you put on social media gets broadcast around the world to millions of people who now know there will be lots of expensive goodies at your house ready to be stolen. Ooh, that's a very good point.
I literally know everything.
I feel like you also said that, well, if you pay for the extra food, we can invite those people, and they refused. So like, this is hella entitled. So are you the a-hole for calling out my partner's family members for inviting people to my baby shower without asking? Bessie, sometimes people need to be called out. Subscribe!